Well, brim fishing is probably one of the funnest things you can do on a spring day. Let's go catch some fish.
Let's do it.
All right. Big old red breast. Pretty that joker is there.
There he is. That's a good one. We're gonna save him to eat him for later. That's a better fish.
How pretty is that?
Pretty copper nose. That's
That
what
is a
come
pretty fish right there now. I'd say that bank right there looks pretty good.
Looks pretty good, Chris. Let's pull up there and cook some fish.
All right. Really, now look at that. That's a beautiful, man, what a big fillet that is.
Be some good eating.
Oh my goodness. Panfish on the South River.
This is Carolina All Out.
Through the years, we've featured a few small water fishing shows on our state's creeks and backwaters. And to our surprise, they seem to be more popular than our big game fishing episodes. I shouldn't be surprised, really. Most everyone can relate to creek fishing, and I'd say that's how most anglers got their start. Not that panfish should be relegated as a gateway fish, they're still pursued continually for fun and for food by many anglers of all levels of experience across the country. Today I'm fishing with Brett Stone. Brett is a hardcore small water fisherman from Autryville who loves fishing his home waters on the edge of Cumberland and Sampson counties. The Blackwater rivers that flow in and out of the swamps and timber in our state holds all sorts of fish, and you know we couldn't turn down an offer to take our creek boats and Carolina cooker gear out for a little catch, clean, and cook. I love doing shows like this because we found that the response to them eclipses most anything else we can do for a fishing episode. I think it's from the fact that the panfish is a connection to our origins as fishermen, and the fact that a creek bank and a simple fishing setup is easier to afford, find, and access than the specialized equipment it takes to catch a larger fish.
Well, brim fishing is probably one of the funnest things you can do on a spring day. And I'm here with Brett Stone, and we are on the South River at an undisclosed location. Per Brett. And Brett, we are catching bluegills today, so talk to me about what the strategy is and what they're doing this time of year here on the river.
Well, this time of year, springtime, right around the full moon in May, the brim typically are on beds, and we're just going to try and go after them, use some beetle spins, and if we have to, we'll go old school and throw crickets with cane poles.
We got the cricket, so I'm excited about that because I always like going old school. Well, I don't know if you know, but I'm telling you, I like to eat fish. So that's my plan. If we can get that, because I've got the Carolina cooker gear up front. So if you're up for that, and I think you have a recipe actually you want to do.
Yeah, I'm going to show y'all how I fry fish. It's a little different than how most people do it, but come up with it and everybody seems to love it. So maybe y'all will too. We'll have to try it out.
Well, we'll try it out here in a little bit. Let's go catch some fish.
Let's do it.
All right. Ooh, yeah. This one here's a fighter. Man, getting it. Oh, a big red, looky here. Big old red breast.
That's what you call a copper-nosed bluegill.
Yeah, copper, as Brett's saying over a copper-nosed bluegill. Now, look at that. How pretty that joker is there. Beautiful bluegill. Look at that big hump right there. That's a fighting fish, man. I tell you, pound for pound, there's nothing like a bluegill. And they are fantastic eating, and we're gonna eat some today, so. What do you think about that one? That work?
That'll work, that'll work. That's a good sized fish.
Brett's a professional on this river, and he says it's good. If he says it's good, then I believe it's good. He's gonna be holding on to fish for us today because our live wells are dry. So he's got the He's got all the water on his side. But anyway, beautiful, man. I'm already having fun, and I ain't been here hardly no time. So we're gonna see what today holds, but that is one of hopefully many bluegill on the South River today.
There he is. That's a good one. That is a very good shell cracker there. This is what you call a red ear sunfish or a shell cracker. It's got a lot of names, but it's one of the best eating fish on the river. We're gonna save him to eat him for later.
There you go, right beside you. Not a very big one, but
that is what you call,
that's
a spotted brim. Has it got a bunch of spots down the side, just silver, not much color? Kind of pinkish color belly?
He's got quite a bit. Yeah, he's got a lot of spots on him though, not a lot of color. So Brett's saying that's a different species, like a spotted brim. I want to check that out on Wikipedia.
Yeah, you have to.
All right, we'll learn to turn him back.
Carolina All Out is brought to you by AgriSupply, Home Hardware Farm, Carolina Cooker, Tools, Cooks, Legends, you create the tradition. The North Carolina Marine and Estuary Foundation, building world-class fisheries and thriving coastal economies. Montgomery Community College Gunsmithing School, blaze your trail. Don't go away, there's more Carolina All Out after these messages.
That's a better fish.
Oh yeah, look at there.
Another pretty copper nose there. Another pretty copper nose bluegill. Save him for later.
All right, Brett.
Just a little guy.
Another one of those spotted ones.
Yeah,
Needs to be quite a few of them around here.
there he is. How I seem to get the most bites. If you notice, that beetle spin's got a large spinner on it.
Mm-hmm.
That's so you can fish it really, really slow.
Right.
So if you'll just barely pull
Just-
it through that water just hard enough, it'll
Just to get that
make
blade
that spinner to spin and throw off some
I need to-
vibration.
I need to look to see how fast I need to pull it, man.
There he was, right there beside the boat. Good eating size, as I
Yeah.
call them.
We like those eating sizes.
Now the big ones are fun to catch and good to eat, but as far as table fare, this is your best size to eat.
What am I looking at there? I can't see from
That's
here.
just a bluegill. That's just a
But he's
standard
got a really
bluegill.
light colored throat, doesn't he?
Yep. That's the one cool thing about these small creeks. You'll catch every variety, subspecies of bluegill and brim and everything in them.
That's right, yeah. There ought to be something around here now.
Always in a bend of the river is going to be really good fishing,
Yeah.
typically. And they might mess around and I pull out some crickets and catch them that way.
Yeah, I was gonna say, cause that bird, that one keeps on just swirling after I pass on by it. You
I
got
might
it?
not have to. That was a good one too. Come off, I can get a good hook in him. There he is.
Got him?
Yeah.
You had to get up in there with him, didn't you?
Yeah, I had to get up right up there in there with him. It's a good fish. And here comes the tricky part of getting them in the boat.
Oh yeah, they fat, boy.
There's a bed
That's
there.
pretty good.
Fishing old school with crickets and a cane pole. Sometimes that's the way you got to do it. Keep him for later.
There he goes.
There you go, that's a good fish.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he didn't waste until, oh, how pretty is that?
Pretty copper nose.
Man, take a look at this one.
That's
That
what we
is
come
a pretty
after.
fish right there now. That is as pretty as they get. Let me get him around here for everybody to see that. That color changed on him almost immediately as soon as it went dark. Just as soon as I got him out of the water,
Yep.
it was so bright. Now
He was
just
bright.
went dark, but there you go. Beautiful fish on the South River today. He's got some heft to him. See him down that line there, y'all? He'll have some nice. We'll have the Nature's tater chips back here at the back end. A little bit of that right there. You can pull that out right there and then bite down on his saddles right there. You will have some meat.
Got a good little messy there.
Yeah, man. Oh, it's gonna be nice, relax, and it's a beautiful day. It's just a really,
Beautiful out
it's
here.
not hot and it's not overly humid.
And the main thing, the biting flies and the mosquitoes ain't driving you
Right,
crazy.
they ain't started up yet, but probably won't be long and they'll be here.
Carolina All Out is brought to you by AgriSupply, Home, Hardware, Farm. Carolina Cooker, Tools, Cooks, Legends, you create the tradition. D&Z Products, when it comes time to take your trophy, accuracy is a must. The Dixie Deer Classic, the South's premier sportsman's event. Don't go away, there's more Carolina All Out after these messages.
That's about where I caught that last one at.
That's a good one there. Really good fish.
Oh, look at that.
Well, he fought like a big
He
one.
fought like a good one, didn't he?
He's still eating size.
Yep.
That's what I like to call the good eating size fish. Not the biggest in the water, not the smallest, just right. We'll keep him for a little later.
There he goes. Boy, he bumped it there.
Through the seasons, you've seen us using our creek boats for all sorts of applications. Fishing, of course, but ducks, turkey, backwater speckled trout, and even squirrel hunting, which has become my favorite way to hunt them. These boats are lightweight, tough, easy to maneuver, and the foot-steered trolling motor makes for an enjoyable day on the water without all that pesky paddling. And they're made here in North Carolina.
There he is. A little better fish.
You got that. That looks
Very
good.
good fish. He's making the line sing on this one. There's another pretty red ear sunfish. Pulling them off the bed right there in those trees. On these smaller rivers, I like to use a 9-foot cane pole, or brim buster, as some people call them. This is the little jewel. Typically I tie a 10-pound test line, which is kind of, you would think would be heavy for brim, but when you're fishing around these trees and stuff, you tend to get hung up a lot. Then all I use is an unweighted cork, and I tie my line about 1 foot to 1.5 feet longer than the pole. That gives you a little bit more line so that you can reach a little farther, but it's not so long that you can't handle the fish whenever you get them up beside the boat. I like to use a size 4 cricket hook with a long shank. That way if the fish really sucks in that cricket, your hook's still sticking out of their mouth so that you can unhook them without having to sit there and fight with pliers and easy hook outs and stuff like that. There he is. That's a good fish. Very good fish. Pretty bluegill. Another pretty bluegill. Basically, the bite's kind of slowed down, but I'm noticing a lot of fish busting. So kind of what I'm doing, I'm figuring the they ain't biting quite as hard as they would be. So I've slowed down my retrieve a lot from how I was this morning and just basically bouncing it across the bottom. And that's how I've picked up these last couple fish I've caught. Let's see if we can do it again. That's a much better fish. This is one of the species you'll catch a lot on this river. Some people call them goggle eyes, some people call them moormouth, or as in this area, a lot of people call them mud chubs. I guess they got their nickname because typically they're hanging out in like an eddy or something off the river where the water's real stagnant, and typically they'll be right up against the bank whenever you catch them. They could be in 2 inches of water. But this here is a good size one. This is typical size that you'll catch on this river. They're kind of somewhat between like I guess you should say a bass and a brim. They got a big mouth like a bass and a body like a brim. But you can tell the day we're catching them, they're right at the peak of the spawn. You can tell how thick that fish is. But I'm here to tell you that's some of the finest eating fish that you'll ever catch off this river, along with all the others we caught today. But anyways, we're gonna keep him for later and see how he does in the grease. See if we can catch another one.
Carolina All Out is brought to you by the All Out Fall Feast Food Plot Blend, formulated for the southern states, Farms and Land Realty. Selling land is what we do. And by these fine sponsors. Don't go away, there's more Carolina All Out after these messages.
So basically, how I like to fish these cane poles, if you're trying to get close to the bank, I like to grab the line, probably, I don't know, a foot above the hook or so, and then just bend. Basically, you're gonna pull the line back away from you and put some flex in that pole, and then just kind of point the pole where you want your line to go, and then at the same time, just kind of flick it. There he is. Little fish. Oh. We're gonna throw him back and fight another day.
By definition, a Blackwater River is a slow-moving body of water that flows through the swamps or wetlands, and its stained or dark water comes from the tannic acid leached from the fallen hardwood leaves that are prevalent along its drainages. This fits the South River to a T, and the beauty of this type of river is hauntingly peaceful. And I can't help but think what I'm seeing today is not unlike what Native Americans witnessed as they paddled down this river and dug out canoes.
I'd say that bank right there looks pretty good.
Looks pretty good, Chris. Let's pull up there and cook some fish.
All right. Looks like you got the scaling going on there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull out the old trusty Carolina cooker gear. I brought us a big pan today. Let's see, this looks like a pretty good place here. This is my Carolina cooker single burner, and you can see I've got it hooked up to the regular green 1 pound tanks that you can buy. These are disposable. So you can get this fired up. I can hear it going. And I can feel the heat off of it. Set this pan on it right here. Now, I don't have a level for this, so the way I'm gonna tell if it's level is when I put the oil in it. Then we can just take and push down one side or the other. Real easy in this sand, you know. But it looks like it's pretty close right now. Okay, grease is gonna be getting hot in just a minute. So you tell me what you got here, because I haven't heard this before.
This is my own little way of frying fish I come up with. It's kind of like pre-cooking the fish with lemon juice like you would do ceviche. A lot of people, to me, overcook their fish. And if you go ahead and cook them with the acid and the lemon juice, you tend to taste the fish a lot better, as opposed to just grease and the breader. So,
Okay, so what do you start out with?
we're gonna start out with some fine cornmeal.
Alrighty.
And we're gonna do about half and half.
Okay.
So, pour a good bit of that in there. Now we're gonna put in some cornstarch as the other half, because it makes the breader stick a lot better to the fish. All right, so now we're gonna add in some Cajun seasoning. Just use whichever kind you like. Hold right there.
Oh, that looks like it might be I don't know what that is. Is that a goggle eye first thing?
I believe so. No, that's a brim.
Brim, all right. There you go, there's another one. There's a beautiful, that cornmeal does stick there very well. Oh yeah. Oh, look at that, that's a beautiful, man, what a big fillet that is.
Be some good eating.
Oh my goodness. Y'all can see this is easy. I mean, what we're doing here is a meal fit for a king. Right here on the creek bank, here on the South River. We've got the Carolina Cookery Gear just doing it right now for us, doing all the work. Got some more ready to go. Beautiful. I love it. I know we got a lot of things happening right now. We got a storm coming over. We got fish cooking and we got fish ready. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and get to eating.
I think I am too, Chris. I think I am too.
I'll tell you what, we had a fantastic time here on the South River with Brett. Brett knows this water like the back of his hand. And so we've had a fantastic time. Clean water, great fish, doing it in the hot grease with the good old Miss Sunbeam loaf bread. You can't beat an afternoon like this in the springtime in North Carolina. I'm Chris Douglas signing off. And remember, our state is your next adventure.
Thanks for watching Carolina All Out, North Carolina's favorite hunting and fishing show.
Bad Daisy.